Good evening. Welcome back to my channel. I am dead tired, but I recorded something earlier and it got deleted because I had no more storage on my computer. Anyway, um, I just wanted to say that you being alone shouldn't be viewed as a negative. It shouldn't be viewed as a burden, all right? If you think dealing with yourself and taking care of yourself or controlling yourself or setting boundaries is bad, you got a lot of work to do. Solitude should be respected. It should be, it should honestly, quite frankly, just be feared. Because people who don't fear solitude, they should be feared. And I say this because someone who's okay with being on their own, it's a very commendable trait. Because a lot of people can't handle it. And if you're someone who can't handle it, I'm sorry, work on yourself. The only way you're going to do that is by being alone. And if you're already doing it by being on your own and working on yourself, don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged because now that you find that you like being alone, you kind of don't want anybody in your space. Nothing wrong with that. It's really easy to fall into the trap of hanging out with people you shouldn't be hanging out with. It's easy to fall into the trap that you're doing things you shouldn't be doing. But seriously, it is a strength to be able to stand alone. Because at the end of the day, there's always this is like it's like this floating around me and like this analogy of this lion, standing strong. Excuse me. It's 3 a.m. and I'm tired. But it's a strength. It's a strength and you should be feared. Because seriously, people can't do this shit. It's too scary for them. And I understand where they're coming from. Yet at the same time, it's like, okay, I would still rather be on my own than to have horrible, shitty company. So no company is better than bad company. Just remember that. My cat's in my room and he's the opposite of my older cat. My older cat will just go to sleep in my bed and he'll just like, yo, I'm out. I'm knocking out. See you later. This one's like, nah, I need to be on watch. It's loose. Watching the door. Never mind. Anyway, this reminds me of Princess Diana and how she really stood alone. And people feared that. They actually feared that she would use, and this is why standing alone, but because of solitude's a choice. Sometimes it isn't though, but some people choose to be alone because it's better. Because, like I said, shitty company is just horrible. And I really would rather be alone than to have such shitty company. But she chose to stand alone. It was kind of forced on her, and sometimes you are forced to be alone. That's still okay. But if you continuously choose it at the end of the day, excuse me, it is a power. There's power that comes with it because people really think you're going to do it. You're going to use it to your advantage. But if you're not a manipulator, you're not. Real power behind it is strength from love. Love is strength. And having love, it is power. So this notion, this horrible notion that power is fear-based, that's not power. That's just straight fear. And if people really think that since they're feared, that's power, you're delusional. Not even a good delusional. So seriously, if you feel bad about your solitude, and if you're going through this in your, 20s, 30s even, I don't even know where you could start with the examples of why it's good, because there's so many examples showing this is like the best thing for you, because it's pushing you to be a better version of yourself. And just know that this is why it's called a midlife crisis for a lot of people. When someone goes through a midlife crisis, imagine going through this when you're 50, 60 years old. It usually happens at 50. But for people who tackle that solitude and that loneliness that's not really there, because if you have yourself, you're not alone. It's true. And you're not ever really alone. Because it's not just you that's there. You have God, and you can lean on God. And if you don't believe in God, lean on yourself. You can be your support system until you find your tribe. And just know that if you're supporting yourself in all aspects of your life, when you meet your people that are it's gonna be your community, you are going to support them and uplift them 1,000,000%. And they are going to actually appreciate that. They're not going to take advantage of it. So, because I want to keep this short and sweet, I'm going to end this with this. You being alone is something to fear. Because seriously, people who do things alone, I'm sorry. When I see people doing shit on their own and they are just out there grinding it out on their own, that is fucking strength. And that is something to be feared. Because this person has nothing to lose. They've got nothing to lose, and they're gonna give it their fucking all. Right? Yeah? Yeah. I know he's just staring at me. But Toulouse agrees. Toulouse agrees. They're gonna give it their fucking all. Because they don't have a choice. You're gonna get to a point where strength, it's not a choice anymore. That's all you got. You don't have the option to fail. Because you're not going to accept it. You're not going to accept the failure. You're not. So don't lose hope. Seriously, if you have to be your own support system, if you got to do it all on your own, don't bitch. Don't complain. Don't whinge. No one likes a whinger. No one likes a complainer. No one wants to hear anybody whine. This is not for men, okay? This is actually for women. No one cares. Okay? Nobody cares. People just want to see results. And if you're going to take the time to be alone, why not actually create something and be like, yo. And this is the thing. You don't need to state the obvious. You don't need to state what you've been doing. You don't need to say shit. You don't need to do shit. Disappear for a year, 2 years, 3 years, come back, pop up on the grid again, and be like, yo, look at my empire. Everyone's gonna be like, how the fuck did you do it? And that is when you gatekeep. Because I'm sorry, the real truth is, spend time with yourself and get to know yourself. People will not do it. You know why? Because it's too fucking hard for them. Overcome that challenge. Overcome it. Because you know you can do it. So why aren't you pushing yourself if you know? If you see the end result, that means a part of you know that it's already happening. And this has already happened. So what are you trying to do to get there? If you see the light at the end of the tunnel, what do you want to get there or not? Because yeah, it's going to be small steps. It's going to be fucking hard. But you have to do it. Nothing that's good or nothing that lasts, it doesn't come easy. It really doesn't. And if it comes too easy, it's not going to last. That's like, it's like hookup culture. That's the best analogy I could use right now. It's literally like hookup culture. You think if you think that hooking up with a girl or hooking up with a guy, and then you having a relationship based off that is gonna last, no. You getting close? Oh, you did go on the bed. Huh. See, you need to get comfortable. It's okay. Be like Toulouse. Like, yo, I gotta be on guard for a little bit, but alright, I can be at ease if I know it's safe. Because what's wrong with that? And if you meet people that don't respect that, fuck them, okay? Drop them like expired mayonnaise. Is someone talking shit? I used to hear that a lot. If you sneeze, if you sneeze or if you drop something, someone's talking shit. I don't know. But seriously, like if you have to work for something, oh my god, the reward, it will pay off. So seriously, don't get discouraged by the hard shit, the hard work you gotta do. You're gonna have to do it anyway. And if you end up getting through this, any other hard work is gonna be a fucking piece of cake compared to the shit you gotta deal with yourself. Because unlearning what you've been fed, the lies you've been fed your whole life, unlearning that shit and reprogramming yourself to be like, wow, I'm a human being with feelings and thoughts, and I need support, and I need to be cared about, I need to be loved, and I can do it. I can love myself, I can care about myself, I can be that person that I want to be with. You've overcome what millions of people avoid. And that is a strength. That is a strength. Because before you even want to give out love, do you have any love to give if you don't know how to give it to yourself? If you don't know how to treat yourself, how are you going to treat someone else like right? If you can't treat yourself right, how are you going to give it to other people? What makes them more worthy than you? Seriously. What makes someone more worthy of your love than you? You should be number one priority. And when you are okay enough and you have given yourself enough love, attention, affection, and worth, and you understand your worth, and you give yourself enough care, guess what? You'll have more than enough to go around to give other people. Because just like art, okay, I used to really think that my art was for me. Because how I interpreted my professors saying, I want you to work on this. I thought it was for me. And it was, but it's meant to be shared. That feeling of struggle between, okay, what could be, what can't be, what almost is, what was, the good, the bad, the ugly. We're all dealing with this internally. And if I can project that using color through my emotion on a canvas, and I can have someone think, holy shit, this is making me think about things. Goals. Hashtag goals. I made you think about something without me saying a word. Some telepathic shit. But I hope this did help somebody. And I made it short just for you. Yeah, usually my videos are long. I don't mean to. I kind of go on a tangent, and I'm not prescribed Adderall or Vyvanse or anything, so um yes, it is undiagnosed ADHD and possibly neurodivergent as per the former therapist. But yeah, I hope this helps somebody. I Please don't get discouraged. Seriously, if you put in the work, results will come through and you will be rewarded. Just know that. Just keep being consistent. Just keep doing it. Because let's say if you get like 1 million views on something, guess what? Really, it's so true. Like, even if it's 10,000 or even if it's 5,000 people out of that, who cares if all these people don't like your shit? You're bound to meet people, or your content, or let's say, and this is mainly on social media, if you're on social media, if you're putting things out there, people are bound to like it because they're gonna, it doesn't matter. There's so many people in the world. Don't get discouraged by literally 2% of people, not even 0.05%. 0.5% of people. Don't get discouraged by them not liking you. Because who gives a fuck? There's this thing called traveling. There's this thing called internet. You can reach people from the part of the globe that they'll like you. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you never met. You will meet people. So don't get discouraged. Don't lash out. And don't be so hard on yourself. If you're putting in the work for you because no one else has and no one else will, you have to do it. And just know, the more you work on yourself, the more you work on what you love, people will see it. So please, just keep going. Not for me, for you. I love you guys. And I really hope that, you're not being too hard on yourself. Because I don't know if you noticed this, but we're all going through the same thing, just differently. Seriously. It's kind of crazy. We're all going through the same thing, just differently. But you have strength. You have it. It's there. I can just tell, like, whoever's watching this, the message is getting through. But please, don't get discouraged. It's better to grow organically than to grow forced, than to cut corners. Cutting corners is not good. You want to grow organically. It's like Pinterest. Like, when I started doing Pinterest and I started, like, actually posting, like, stuff on there, I noticed that, like, only certain people post, like, content. And then if you notice, if you're on Pinterest and you notice that, like, you go on there and you go into someone's profile, it goes right to boards, that means they haven't like done anything, unless their created is private, right? But you want to grow organically, and you really only do that by learning more about yourself and getting to know yourself. So know thyself. You doing it in solitude and you facing yourself in the mirror is one of the strongest things you can do, because no one's doing it. I saw a video a few weeks ago, and this guy said that it's so easy to be great nowadays. And it's so true. It's because a lot of people, they don't want to put in the work. They really don't. Out of, let's say, however many percent of like the population is on the eastern, on in the western world, like maybe 1 million out of 2 billion will put in the work. But think about that. 2 billion, 2 billion. Just 1 billion. 1 million out of that is nothing compared to 1 million out of fucking two. Like, dude, that's like those are big numbers. So if that 1 million people, you do understand that in a billion, that's 999 million times two. That's only 1 million people that will actually do the work. I think the odds are in your fucking favor if you're gonna really put in the work and just learn your strengths and get stronger. And if you're gonna keep, and the only person you should be comparing yourself to is yourself yesterday. You should only be comparing yourself to your past self. And you should be growing from them. Don't pay attention to what everyone else is doing. Seriously, just focus on you. Because at the end of the day, you can make it. It's very possible. But it's better to do it organically. And on that note, I will actually say goodbye. But peace be with you. God bless. I love you. Keep fucking pushing through. Keep pushing through. Because that light, it's only getting bigger. Because and you know what that means? It means you're getting closer. The tunnel is getting shorter. Because you're getting closer to the end. It's going to be a new chapter. Yeah. But the light's getting bigger. You're going to make it. And the last thing I'll say, for real, is that everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. Good night. I love you.